Guys, okay, so today we are doing some coffee vibes. I'm inspired by two things. First, this lipstick called More Coffee from Maybelline, which is one of the Maybelline Ultimates, and the Wild Child Palette from Colourpop. Oh, this palette is so pretty. It is chocolatey, it is rich, it is warm, just beautifulness. I want to roll around in it. Love this shade right here, and it's got a gorgeous glitter, which we used on the lid today. I try to use a good majority of these shades and create this really chocolatey, smoky look with a very espresso brown lip. So yeah, if that interests you, go ahead, keep on watching. But without further ado, let's get into the makeup. Good morning. Hello. Okay, so today I feel like doing some coffee themed vibes because I have this Maybelline Ultimate lipstick in More Coffee that I really want to wear. And just so happens my friend Chandra gave me the perfect palette to go with that. And it is this one. It is the Wild Child palette from Colourpop. And it looks like this. How pretty. I know, basic browns, right? But they're warm, they're chocolatey, they're delicious looking, and there's also a really fun glitter in here. Me and this palette are going to have some fun today. We're going to do something just warm, chocolatey, coffee feeling vibes, and just, yeah. And we're also going to be using a lot of e.l.f. products. Everything today is going to be like really affordable. So yeah, this is the palette we'll be using today. Let's dive on in. Look, we still got the mirror paper on it. Let's tear that off together, shall we? Because that's super satisfying. Oh yeah, love it. And this is one of their hard pan palettes. I believe this retails for $14, still available. And yeah, I love it. It's so pretty. Like, I know this is gonna wear off because it's plastic, but I think it's really pretty right now. And I like animal print, and I think giraffes are adorable. So we have a nice collection of kind of some camel tones, basically colors that you see on a giraffe here. There's some really, really deep blackened browns. We've got a glitter. We've got a matte with the glitter in it that everybody hates. Yeah, pressed glitter. I think there's a super shock in here and some metallics. Just a little nice variety of finishes. Shades of brown. So let's dive on in. I'm going to get me a fluffy brush to start. And we're going to kick it off with the shade Spotted. Is that hashtag Spotted? We're going to bring that through the socket line and transition area, just kind of right in here. Colourpop tends to have a lot of kick up. Look out for that. And I'm just going to tap it off. I'm actually doing my eyes first today, not my face, because I'm going to be going in with the pressed glitter. And I know things are going to get messy. So yeah. Alright, I'm going to take this through that socket. When I swatch this palette, which I'm going to insert the swatches now, so beautifully pigmented, and the pressed glitter in here is very unique, and I really enjoyed the tones within it. It has kind of a copper base to it, and it's not just glitter. It's like a super shock with glitter just packed in it. It's a little bit different than some of the other pressed glitters. And I have already primed my eyes with my Sigma eye base because I forgot that I have eye primers I'm supposed to be using up. And yeah, I'm going to do this lightly to start, and then we'll, of course, build as we go because that's what I do. And I'm going to take this shade kind of up and out a bit on this outer corner. I'll probably go with my bronzer later and really pull that out some more. All right, let's see. What do we want to do next? Do we want to go in with Ground Crew or Hard to Get? Let's take a little bit of Hard to Get and see how that goes. Hard to Get is this shade right here. It's a bit of a reddish brown, not so much of an orangey brown, which is up here. And I'm going to do that on a more of a concentrated brush. I'm going to use a, really wonder where my E25 is. Honestly, it's probably just on the floor somewhere. And let's just take this little brush from Morphe. This is a 433. It'll work. Go into this shade right here. A lot of kick up with that one. So I'm really going to tap it off and bring that a little bit lower right into that socket and kind of focus it in there. Yep, that is the right color that I'm looking for. really nice richness and depth to this shade. That is some chocolatey goodness right there. That's kind of just perfect. That's the perfect color that I was going for. I'm gonna blend that up and out a little bit on this outer corner. It will take a little bit more of hashtag spotted. Bring that around that edge. Why does it have the hashtag in front of it? Why do we need that? That's kind of excessive, don't you think? You could just call it spotted. What is the hashtag representing or really giving to this palette? Right, and going back to Hard to Get, building that up a little more. These are blending really easily and looking really nice. I think I'm going to take just a touch of Ground Crew, which is that warm, kind of orangier brown right there. I'm just going to take that right at that edge, just ever so slightly, just for a little bit of a gradient. Okay, yeah, that looks nice. So that little bit makes such a big difference. Make sure everything is just soft, like blending. There we go. I'm going back into Hard to Get. Alright, cool. That's looking pretty. Now I'm going to take a bit of Feisty, which is a matte brown, right here in this corner. I'm going to take a little bit of that on E27, and I'm going to bring that right out here. Start building some depth on the outer corner. Okay, that is some chocolatey goodness right there. Okay, I want to take a little bit of the shade called Icon, and I'm going to kind of put it right where the matte shade Feisty is starting, kind of like right in this little region. I'm just going to take a little bit of that and see what happens. And pat that on. It is this shade right here next to Feisty. And it's a metallic shade. Ooh, very nice. That is a pretty color. It didn't look like much on camera, but it's pretty. Alright, clean that little brush off and we go into close up, which is this shimmer right here. I'm just trying to use as many shades as possible kind of today, get a good feel for this palette and go all in. So we're going to go with this one right here. Same brush. I want to see how it picks up and goes on. Now with the with the Colourpop shimmers, they perform beautifully on a finger. Ooh, or a damp brush if you really want to get some impact out of them. But most of the time they do apply just fine with a flat brush, but even with this kind of fluffier, loose brush, they're going on really nicely. Oh, that is beautiful, this color. Just a really dark copper. That's so pretty and so warm. Ooh, I just like when I roll around in that shade. It's so nice. Alright, and I think Fierce up here is a Super Shock, yes. So I'm going to take a little bit of Fierce and see if it picks up on this. It does. And I'm going to put it on the inner bit right there for some brightness. Very pretty. Alright, and clean that off. Go back to Icon. I feel like I want a little more Icon. Right there. Yes. Yes. I love these tones. These are nice. Now I'm going to take a little bit more of Hard to Get. Come right around this edge, right into the socket, and kind of make sure that's still nice and visible. Just kind of reevaluate and reassess. Okay, cool, cool, cool. That's looking good. Okay, cool. I'm going to catch the other eye up and then we'll be right back. Okay, and we're back. This is where we are. I think it looks pretty nice like this, but I really, really want to add this glitter. It's called Lashes, and it is freaking stunning. It has got copper and gold, and it has kind of the same base as this shade right here. So yeah, let's take some of that on our finger. It's very smooth feeling, like it's not rough. Isn't that pretty? I think that's such a pretty color. I'm gonna pop that kind of, I think, heck, let's pop it on the center of the lid. Why not? Press it on with my finger. Ooh, ooh, is she pretty? Just a nice little pop. Oh yeah, look at that shine. I love just a little bit of a glitter to a look like this. Just a tiny amount. Well, it's not a tiny amount, but it's not like a crazy amount. Pat over, make sure it's pressed in. Yeah, okay. Like as much as I like the look before, boy, the glitter really takes it there. And I can also take a little bit more of my close-up shade. Can you use that to isolate the glitter just a little bit more onto the center? All right. Pretty. Oh, so pretty. Okay, so I do have a little bit of fallout. Nothing too bad. Not as bad as you would think. It's mostly the glitter. And again, I mean, it's not as much as I would think I would have. So I'm going to tidy that up. And we're back for lower lash line, but I will also go ahead and do my face makeup, touch up brows, and probably some mascara. And then we'll come back for the lower lash line and some final touches. See you in just a minute. Okay, so just applied foundation and concealer. Touched up brows because I had to remove my foundation because we had a little oopsie. And I did put on some half lashes. So, yeah, I had to completely take off the foundation that I applied because things did not go well. So we're on our second go there and hopefully things go better. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and finish up that lower lash line and then we're going to move on to the rest of the face. I'm going to kind of try to breeze through here. I don't want to keep you too long. Where's my eyeliner? We're going to take that brown eyeliner from earlier. I did take a bit of the Breakup Proof from Wet n Wild liquid eyeliner just to conceal the lash band. And yeah, that's it. And a little bit of this brown right into the lash line, to tight line. And I'm going to take this same brown shade. This is just a dark brown from Marc Jacobs. It's not brownie. It's one deeper, which is a very generic brown that you could find from any brand. It's nothing special with the shade. Alright, now I'm going to take a little smudgy brush and I'm going to go into the Feisty shade with a light hand. I'm going to use that to blend out this brown liner. I want that under eye. So smoky and so rich and chocolatey, espresso-y. I want to look like a cup of coffee today, apparently. I want my eyes to look like a beautiful latte from your favorite coffee shop. Right, I'm going to clean that off. I'm going to take a little bit of Hard to Get. Bring that just a bit lower. Let it float up into that upper lash line a little bit so there's no disconnect. I'm going to clean off my little E27 and take a little bit of #spotted and just kind of run that right along underneath. Kind of blend that out and let it blend down just a touch and go real smoky. Okay, now with that same smudge brush, I'm going to take a bit of Fierce and focus right in this inner part and pretty much mimic what I did on the upper lash line without the glitter. Okay, and then we'll take Icon and go back to Feisty just a bit. Keep that nice and dark out there on that outer corner. All right. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to repeat that on the other side and we'll be right back. Okay, just put on some mascara and really finished up the brows. So let's move on to some bronzer and bring some life back to this face. Because girl, I know. Ghostly. Ghostly, ghostly. On my skin today for foundation is the e.l.f. Camo Powder Foundation. We're testing it. We had a flop, or we had an epic fail. And this is the second go and things are looking a lot better. I just look very ghostly because of my actual skin tone today. I feel like I've been testing out foundations and they've all been just a little, like more my summer shade. So it's like, oh, this is my actual skin color minus the redness. Alright, so I'm going to go in with the Putty Bronzer and Tan Lines. I feel like using some e.l.f. products today since I'm kind of already using a little bit of e.l.f. on the skin. I'm going to swirl in here. This is actually e.l.f. foundation brush. I think buffing brush, I think it does good for their cream products. I don't have the putty brush. I'm just gonna take this, pounce it around in the areas where I need some warmth. And I'm gonna do a pouncing motion because I don't want to disturb that powder foundation too much. Because it is definitely one, if you kind of rub it after you've applied it, it can go a bit patchy. A lot of it patchy, in fact. But I found this applies fine over powders normally, so hopefully we do good. So far I think it looks fine. I am using a light hand as per usual. I'm taking the excess off the back of my hand. Just gonna get around this forehead because pale, sickly looking today. Foundation might be a little bit light on me. And I thought the undertone was wrong, but I think the undertone's fine. I don't know. It's definitely starting to look a little glowier or something. I'm liking that at least. Definitely just need to bronze it up some. It's good. And I'm gonna take my brush I used to apply the foundation powder even and just take it right here just to make sure it's nice and blended. Just stamping motions. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. A little bit warmer, but not over the top crazy, but still a little life added to the face. Take a little bit just around the nose. And for blush, actually I'm going to do my highlighter first because I'm not sure how crazy this highlighter is going to get. But this is from Juvia's Place. This is called their Ice Loose Highlighter. And it's a bit of a warm champagne, so I think that might be pretty today. So we're going to try that out. It is loose, and so I'm going to be very, very careful here and take my little highlighter brush and just tap it off and see what happens. It's a very glowy highlighter, but pretty. It's got a little bit of micro sparkle glitter in it. It's definitely more glam highlighter. But yeah, I don't think it looks bad though when you do it with a kind of a lighter application. Definitely gonna be one I think I'll prefer in the summer months when I'm a bit warmer as far as my skin tone goes. I'm gonna take a little bit of this just gently under the brow. Right there. Little pop. Right there. And I'm gonna put a little bit in the inner corner. Yeah, this is definitely one of those pretty metallic highlights, and it is going to emphasize texture if you have texture, which we all do. But if you're worried about that, this is going to be one of those that does that, but it is pretty. I think it's more of a, maybe a special occasion highlighter or something fun, but I do like the nice gold shift in it, like the champagne of it's nice and warm, which I think looks good with this eye look. And once we get the blush on, it'll look much more cohesive. And for blush, we're going to take Bahamas from e.l.f., which is this nice warm orangey shade. And we're taking on the same brush I used to apply the bronzer. So make sure it's clean. Dab into here. And tap off. And pounce it on. This will just help that highlighter melt into the skin a little better. There we go. I think that looks good. Yeah, it's looking nice over that highlighter. It just kind of knocked it down a bit. A little less metallic. You can always go back and amp it up again, but it just kind of melts it into the skin. You're doing your blush after the fact. Taking the blush down just a little bit lower than I had been, just because I want to add that little extra rosiness to the skin to kind of bring it to life some. Good, yeah. Oh, I'm looking pretty ghostly. Alright. Cool. Revisit a little bit where it was left on my highlighting brush and just hit it right here. I think that is looking pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and take my little foundation brush one more time and just make sure everything is looking seamless. Alright, okay, cool. Let's move on to the lips and we will be done. Okay, flip liner, I'm going to use Power Suit from Bark from Vive, just to get a quick outline Now, let's go in with our lipstick. This is More Coffee from Maybelline in the Ultimates range. Very, very deep shade. It's pretty much the color of Feisty. Okay, cool. Look at this lip color. That's like the most velvety, chocolatey coffee shade I've ever seen. I want to roll around in it. I want to eat it because it looks like it should taste really good. And yeah, I like it quite a bit. Just perfect this lip line a little. These Maybelline Ultimates are great because they're so pretty. They're so matte but so comfortable. Love them. Okay. Alright, I'm going to change my hair. I'll be right back. Okay, and here is our look all done. Our coffee vibes. I really like it. It does remind me of coffee, especially this lip. I want to just eat this lipstick because it looks so tasty. Anyways, yes, the Wild Child palette, freaking fantastic. I had so much fun playing with this. These shades are gorgeous. If you like warm, rich, chocolatey tones, this is the one right here. And a brown glitter. I love a glitter in a brown eyeshadow palette. And the glitter is sticking on pretty good and looks pretty nice. And I'm not having any more fallout from the glitter than the initial fallout that I had when I first applied it. And I removed that with a Q-tip and some foundation, face primer, which is what I usually do to clean up fallout. And yeah, that is where we're at. So yeah, let me know down below what you think of this palette. Do you have it? Would you like to see some more looks with it? Something maybe a little softer, a little more everyday, approachable, with less of a bold lip? Let me know down below. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay safe, stay spooky,